What if I told you there are ways to truly understand your grandchildren, or even your children, and build a stronger relationship with them? Because let's be honest, nowadays our children and grandchildren are growing up so fast, sometimes it feels like we don't have a place in their hearts anymore. Or maybe the differences between our generation and theirs have gotten so big that we just can't seem to understand every single move they make. And that's crazy when you think about it. After all, we were once teenagers ourselves. We've been through those same years of change, confusion, and excitement. But here's the truth. Their world today is not the same as the world we grew up in. Their generation is completely different from ours, and we can't blame them for that. Instead of pushing back or feeling left out, what if we learned their ways of doing things? What if we tried to understand their interests, their habits, their tools, and use those things to get closer to them every single day we see them? Now, I know what you might be thinking. That sounds impossible. Because yes, things are very different now. We didn't have phones glued to our hands. We didn't have social media shaping our friendships. We didn't spend hours locked up in our rooms watching videos or chatting with people across the world. Life back then felt slower, simpler, more face-to-face. But here's the key. Different doesn't mean worse. It just means we need to adjust, open up, and step into their world a little bit. And if you're willing to do that, I can guarantee you'll start to notice changes. You'll see more smiles, more conversations, and more moments where you and your grandchildren feel connected again. You'll spend more quality time together, and instead of feeling like you're drifting apart, you'll feel like you're growing closer. That's what this video is all about. Reigniting the spark we all once had with our grandchildren, or even our own children. Because that spark is still there. Sometimes it's just hidden under the noise of modern life. But with the right mindset, the right tools, and the right approach, you can bring it back stronger than ever. So in this video, I'm going to share some powerful tips, simple, practical things you can start doing right away that will not only improve your relationship with your grandchildren, but also make you feel more included in their world. And the best part is, you don't have to change who you are. You don't have to try to be young again or pretend to love everything they do. You just need to open the door a little wider, step into their shoes for a moment, and invite them into your world too. If you listen carefully and put these tips into practice, I truly believe you'll see a difference. You'll laugh more together, talk more openly, and build memories that they'll carry with them forever. So get comfortable, lean in, and pay attention, because what I'm about to share can change the way you connect with your grandchildren starting today. Tip number 1. Embrace technology together. Let's start with the one thing that most seniors have a hard time using: technology. You know, sometimes it feels like kids today were born with a phone in their hand. They can swipe, tap, and open apps faster than we can even find our glasses. And honestly, for many grandparents, that can feel overwhelming. But here's the truth. Technology isn't something that should push us away from our grandchildren. It can actually bring us closer than ever. Think about this. Years ago, if your grandchild lived far away, you'd maybe get a phone call once in a while or wait for a letter in the mail. Today, with just a tap, you can see their face, hear their laugh, and even watch them show you their new toy, all in real time. Isn't that incredible? Or think about video calls. If you can learn how to use WhatsApp, FaceTime, or Zoom, you've unlocked a whole new way of staying connected. Picture your grandchild calling you before bedtime, holding up their homework or their drawing, saying, "Look what I made today." And you're right there sharing that moment as if you were sitting next to them. And don't worry about making mistakes. Honestly, kids expect us to mess up with technology. In fact, that's half the fun for them. When you send the wrong emoji or accidentally turn the camera upside down, they'll giggle, and suddenly you've created a shared inside joke. That little mistake becomes a story they'll never forget. Remember when Grandpa turned himself into a potato on Zoom? And others can be memories. The best part? Technology gives you ways to create traditions, even when you're far apart. Maybe every Sunday you do a quick video call. Maybe you record yourself reading a bedtime story and send it to them so they can watch it whenever they want. Or maybe you just send a funny sticker once in a while to say, "I'm thinking of you." These small things keep you present in their daily life. And here's a secret. When you embrace technology, you're not just learning something new. You're showing your grandkids that you're open, curious, and willing to step into their world. That earns you respect. They start to see you not just as grandma or grandpa, but as someone who gets it, someone they can share their digital life with. So don't let that phone or tablet scare you. Use it as a bridge. Ask your grandkids to guide you. Laugh at the mistakes. Celebrate the little wins when you finally figure out how to send a voice note. These aren't just gadgets. They're tools for love, connection, and laughter. At the end of the day, children remember who showed up for them. And in this modern world, sometimes showing up means pressing that green button on a screen and saying, "Hi, sweetheart, how was your day?" That's it. That's love, in a modern language they understand. Tip number 2. Share stories and memories. Number 2 on this list is something timeless, something that never goes out of style. Sharing your stories and memories. Now let me ask you this. When you were young, do you remember sitting by an elder, maybe your parents or grandparents, and just listening? Maybe it was a funny story, maybe it was a dramatic one, or maybe it was just a memory about how life used to be. Whatever it was, you probably still remember it today. That's the power of storytelling. Children absolutely love hearing about the past, and guess what? You are living history for them. To them, hearing about a world without smartphones, without Wi-Fi, even without color TV, it sounds like another planet. They get curious, they laugh, and most importantly, they connect with you. Now here's the trick. You don't need to make it sound like a lecture. Keep it light, keep it funny, and keep it real. Instead of saying, "Back in my day, things were so much harder," you can say, "When I was your age, I had to walk to school, not just without a phone, but sometimes without shoes. And guess what? We survived." That's the kind of story that gets a giggle and sticks in their memory. But storytelling isn't just about entertainment. It's also about passing down values. For example, maybe you tell them about the time you worked hard to save money for your very first bicycle, or the time you stood up for a friend at school. These stories sneak in little lessons about patience, kindness, courage, without ever sounding like preaching, and children soak it up. And here's a tip. Don't be afraid to show your human side. Share the funny mistakes, the embarrassing moments, even the times you failed. Kids love to know that you weren't always perfect. Maybe you tell them about how you once burned the rice because you forgot it on the stove, or the time you tripped while dancing. Those little stories show them that you're not just grandma or grandpa. You're a person with a colorful life. You can also turn storytelling into a tradition. Maybe every Friday night you share one story from the past. Or maybe during family dinners, you slip in a story about their mom or dad when they were young. Let me tell you, kids love hearing what their parents were like as children. And the parents usually sit there going, "Oh no, please don't tell that one." That's where the fun really begins. And don't underestimate the power of simple objects. Old photos, letters, or even keepsakes can spark the best stories. Pull out a black and white picture and say, "This was me when I was your age." Watch their eyes widen as they realize you were once a child too. Suddenly, you've opened a door to a whole conversation they'll never forget. But most importantly, remember this: children remember how you made them feel. When you tell them a story with excitement, with laughter, or even with a little suspense, you're not just passing time, you're creating an emotional bond. They'll think, "Grandma's stories always make me smile," or "Grandpa's memories always make me feel special." Tip number 3, create traditions. Now this is one of my favorites because it's simple, but it lasts forever. Creating traditions with your grandchildren. Now when I say traditions, don't worry. I'm not talking about big, fancy, once-a-year events. I mean the small, repeatable things that you do together, just the two of you. These little rituals might not look like much at first, but let me tell you, children hold on to them tighter than you can imagine. Think about it. Maybe every time they visit your house, you bake cookies together. You roll the dough, they sneak a few chocolate chips when they think you're not looking, and you both laugh when flour gets everywhere. Years later, they won't just remember the cookies. They'll remember the feeling of being safe, happy, and loved in your kitchen. Or maybe your tradition is even simpler, a special handshake that only the two of you share. Kids absolutely love secret handshakes. It makes them feel like they're part of an exclusive club with you. Imagine their face lighting up when you do the handshake at the door, in the car, or even during a video call. It's your thing, nobody else's. Traditions can also be weekly moments. Maybe you call them every Sunday evening and ask, "What was the best thing that happened to you this week?" At first, they might shrug and say, "Nothing much." But over time, they'll start to look forward to that question. And they'll keep little stories in their head just to tell you. That's when you know you've made it a habit they treasure. And don't underestimate bedtime rituals. If your grandchild ever stays over, reading a bedtime story, singing the same lullaby, or even just saying a special phrase before sleep can become the highlight of their night. Think about it. Those are the little details they'll carry into adulthood, and they'll always remember who gave them that comfort. Another idea? Seasonal traditions. Maybe every summer you plant flowers together in the garden. Maybe every holiday you make the same funny decoration. These don't have to cost money. They just need to be consistent. Children love looking forward to things, and traditions give them something steady in a world that's always changing. And let's be honest, traditions don't just help the kids. They help us too. They give us something to anticipate, to prepare for, to smile about. They remind us that no matter how busy life gets, there's always that one moment we'll share with our grandchildren, again and again. Here's the beautiful part. These traditions grow with them. The silly handshake you start when they're 5 years old might turn into a fist bump when they're 15. The cookies you bake together might turn into them baking for you one day. And in that moment, you'll realize the tradition has become a part of their identity. Now let me ask you something. What tradition do you want to create with your grandchildren? Is it a secret recipe, a bedtime story, a Friday night call, or maybe something as simple as a shared walk in the park? Think about it, because whatever you choose, that little ritual will mean more to them than you can imagine. Because at the end of the day, toys break, gadgets get old, but traditions live forever. They turn into memories, and those memories turn into love that never fades. Tip number 4. Show genuine interest in their world. Now, this is all about showing your grandchildren that you truly care about their world. You see, sometimes as grandparents, it's easy to get caught up in our own stories, our own memories, and our own way of doing things. But children live in a world that moves so fast. Their games, their friends, the shows they love, the music they listen to, it's a whole universe of its own. And if we want to connect with them, we need to step into it. Now, showing interest doesn't mean you have to understand everything perfectly. You don't need to know every game, every app, or every slang word. What matters most is that you ask questions and listen with curiosity. Ask them about their day, their favorite songs, or the latest adventure they had at school. Listen to the answers. React with excitement. Laugh when they laugh. Even if you don't get it, your curiosity shows them, "I care about what matters to you." Let me give you an example. Imagine your grandson comes home from school, eyes shining, talking about the new video game he's obsessed with. Instead of nodding politely and saying, "That's nice," you ask, "Oh, really? Show me how it works." Suddenly, you're not just a grandparent in the room, you're a participant. You're stepping into their world, and that's magical for a child. Or maybe it's about school projects or hobbies. Your granddaughter brings home a drawing or a science project she's proud of. Don't just say, "Good job." Ask questions. How did you come up with this idea? What part was the most fun? Your genuine interest makes them feel valued, seen, and understood. That feeling of being heard and appreciated creates a strong emotional bond that lasts. And here's something wonderful. When you show interest in their world, you often discover new things yourself. Maybe they introduce you to a new song, a funny TikTok trend, or even a hobby you never tried before. Suddenly, learning becomes a shared adventure, and that's exactly the kind of connection children remember. It also teaches them something important, that everyone, no matter their age, can be curious and open-minded. They see that you care about their experiences and opinions, and in turn, they start to respect and trust you more. And trust, as we know, is the foundation of any strong relationship. Remember, this doesn't need to be complicated or time-consuming. Even a few minutes of focused attention each day, a conversation at the dinner table, or a chat during a walk in the park can make a world of difference. The little moments count because they add up to a lifetime of love and closeness. So, here's a question for you. What's one thing about your grandchild's world that you're curious to learn more about? Maybe it's their favorite game, a show they can't stop watching, or a hobby they love. Take that first step and ask. You'll be amazed at how a simple question can open the door to deeper connection. Tip number 5. Teach and learn together. So now this is a really special one. Teaching your grandchildren something you know and letting them teach you something in return. Now, hear me out. This isn't about who knows more or who's smarter. It's about sharing, laughing, and growing together. You see, every grandparent has wisdom to pass on. Maybe it's cooking, gardening, fixing things around the house, or even telling jokes that only make sense after a long life of experience. These are treasures that kids just can't get anywhere else. Imagine this. You're showing your grandchild how to bake your famous chocolate chip cookies. They're measuring flour, sneaking chocolate chips, laughing when the dough sticks to their fingers. And in the middle of it, they accidentally spill some milk. Instead of scolding, you laugh together. That's not just baking, that's bonding. And it's a memory that will last them a lifetime. But here's the twist. The learning goes both ways. Maybe your grandchild teaches you how to send a voice message, record a fun video, or even play a game you've never tried before. Suddenly, you're not just the teacher, you're the student too. And guess what? That shows them something incredibly powerful. Learning is a lifelong adventure, no matter how old you are. And let's be honest, there's a special kind of joy in seeing their eyes light up when they teach you something new. They feel proud, important, and respected. And that pride strengthens your connection instantly. You're not just grandma or grandpa anymore. You're a teammate, a partner in discovery, someone who's willing to step into their world. The beauty of teaching and learning together is that it doesn't have to be complicated. Even small things count. Show them how to plant a flower, tie a tie, or fix a bicycle chain. And in return, let them show you a new dance move, a trick on a skateboard, or how to use an app you've never opened before. Every little moment like this builds trust, laughter, and mutual respect. And here's something else. These shared experiences become stories they'll tell long after the moment is over. Maybe they'll tell their friends, "Grandpa taught me how to build a birdhouse," or "Grandma showed me how to make the best cookies." These aren't just activities, they're memories, and memories turn into deep emotional bonds. So don't be afraid to start small. Pick one thing you love and one thing they love, and exchange knowledge. Laugh at the mistakes, celebrate the little victories, and enjoy the ride. Over time, you'll see something beautiful happen. The bond grows stronger, respect grows deeper, and both of you learn to appreciate each other in ways you never expected. Now, I have a question for you. What's one skill or one thing you've always wanted to teach your grandchildren? And what's one thing you'd like them to teach you? Think about it, because that little exchange can turn an ordinary day into a memory you'll both treasure forever. Tip number 6. Be emotionally available. Now, this might be the last on, but it is one of the most important things, which is being emotionally available to your grandchildren. Now, this might sound a little serious, but don't worry, it's not complicated. Being emotionally available simply means being there for them, really listening, and letting them know that they can come to you no matter what. It's about creating a safe space where they feel understood, loved, and valued. Think about it. Sometimes kids don't need advice or a lecture or even a solution to their problem. Sometimes they just need someone to listen. Maybe they had a bad day at school, maybe they're feeling left out, or maybe something small is bothering them that feels huge to them. Your role is to be present, to let them speak, and to respond with kindness, not judgment. Imagine your granddaughter comes to you teary-eyed, talking about a disagreement with her friend. Instead of saying, "Oh, you shouldn't feel that way," you sit down, look her in the eye, and say, "I hear you. That sounds really hard. How do you feel about it?" That simple act, just listening and validating, creates trust. She will remember that you cared, that you were there when she needed someone. Or picture your grandson trying to share a new fear or worry, maybe about school or a performance. Even if it seems small to you, the fact that you take it seriously matters. Your calm presence tells them, "It's okay to feel this. I'm here for you." And that reassurance is a gift they will carry for life. Being emotionally available also means letting them see your feelings sometimes. You don't have to hide joy, sadness, or excitement. Laugh with them, celebrate small victories, show empathy when they're upset. When you express your own emotions in a healthy way, they learn that it's okay to feel deeply and share those feelings too. And here's the beauty of it. When you're emotionally available, you're building a bond that can't be broken by distance, disagreements, or growing up. They'll know that no matter what, they can come to you for support, comfort, or just a listening ear. And that connection? It's one of the most powerful ways to show love. Sometimes it takes practice. Maybe at first you don't know what to say, or you feel unsure about how to respond. That's okay. What matters is your presence and willingness to listen. Even sitting quietly beside them while they talk, or gently asking, "Do you want to tell me more?" is enough to show that you care. So here's a question for you. When was the last time you really listened to your grandchild without distractions? Could today be the day you offer them your full attention, your heart, and your patience? Even small moments like these can create a lifetime of emotional closeness. So, there you have it. Simple but powerful ways to build a stronger bond with your grandchildren. Remember, it's not about doing everything perfectly. It's about showing up, being present, and creating small moments that matter. A laugh, a story, or just listening with love can mean more than you realize. The truth is, these connections don't happen overnight. But if you keep trying, little by little, you'll notice the difference. Your grandchildren will feel it, and so will you. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these tips will you try first? Let me know in the comments because your experience might inspire someone else watching this video. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to give it a like, share it with another grandparent, and subscribe for more tips on making life after 60 truly meaningful. Thanks for watching, and here's to building stronger, warmer connections with the people we love most.